The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, Grand Bahama is to solidify its position as a major maritime center in the region. Today, a global leader in the maritime sector officially opened a new state-of-the-art training facility, the first of its kind in this region. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
Grand Bahama on a revolutionary course in the maritime industry, Vialan can now boast of a new multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art training facility, which features one of the most complete navigation facilities in the region. Officials of MSC and Switzer, the global market leader in the towage and emergency response facilities, officially commissioning what they hope will become the flagship training facility in the maritime sector.
We expect that a number of interested external parties from this region will take advantage of this simulator facility to train their respective captains and pilots. Because of the presence of the simulator at Switzer Americas, we have decided to locate in Freeport our regional training center, further expanding the scope of training and therefore making Freeport a focal point of training initiatives for this region. We expect that the simulator will greatly benefit operations at the Freeport Harbor by allowing continuous training of pilots and tugboat masters in many possible conditions and operations.
Calling it a quantum leap in the advancement of this fastest growing industry, Minister of State for Transport and Aviation, the Honorable Hope Strawn, says the Bahamas is an archipelagic nation, and this caliber of training is vital to the continued growth and development of this country's maritime sector.
The addition of this institute will enhance the offerings at the College of the Bahamas and increase the capacity of maritime training and opportunities for our young people. With the ship repair facility and the Freeport Harbor Grand Bahama Company, we have the makings of what we call a maritime hub, unequaled in the region. And it is therefore, I believe, a natural fit that Switzer would choose Freeport to anchor this particular training program. This will serve not only burgeoning young Bahamians, but the entire region.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says this public-private sector partnership bodes well for the Bahamas, in particular Grand Bahama, putting this island on the cutting edge of technology.
I am pleased that Switzer has made the decision to establish this training facility on Grand Bahama, which will be advantageous for our growth of our maritime sector, as well as to give local residents the opportunities to train. Firstly, this maritime training center will showcase the skills and knowledge of our training masters. And I was so proud when 3 Bahamians stood up who will be the ones doing the training here on the island of Grand Bahama. We have certainly come a long way.
This new training center will not only figure prominently in Switzer's overall training initiative here in the Caribbean, but also help to solidify Grand Bahama as a hub for maritime training. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Well, the maritime sector is shaping up to be a major employer on Grand Bahama. Recent statistics show that more Bahamians are now finding jobs, as the unemployment rate is now pegged at 14.7%. The number of discouraged workers is down by 60%. Minister of Labor Shane Gibson says this is a good indication that the economy is rebounding.
This new spirit of enthusiasm in Grand Bahama is directly related to the focused leadership and the ongoing initiatives of the government, including the opening of the Memories Resort, the excellent working relationship with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Hutchison Group, and the ongoing consultations with our social partners to improve the economy of the Bahamas. Bahamians from all walks of life throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas have hope and strong confidence in this government's economic policies as the right formula at the right time to put our country back on track and on a path to economic revival.
Nonetheless, unemployment among workers aged 15 to 24 years remain a concern. Minister Gibson says the National Training Agency is one initiative designed to prepare the youth for the workforce, and he hopes the numbers will improve in the months ahead.
The National Training Agency has devised an industry standards-driven competency-based training program to address the lack of skills, soft and practical, among this at-risk grouping. This program, comprising training provider-based learning and internships, has been most successful and effective. And since the establishment and launch of the National Training Agency on July 15, 2013, the challenge of decreasing the unemployment statistics relating to youth has been the primary focus of this agency. The agency targets youth and young adults between the ages of 15 to 26, and in considered instances make accommodation for young adults up to age 29.
Well, members of the disabled community still applauding the passage of the Persons with Disability and Equal Opportunities Bill. As a result, the Bahamas is now said to be the second country in the region to write into law the protection of the disabled bill. The bill calls for changes to be made to public facilities to accommodate the disabled. Tonight, the president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce giving his take on the new legislation. It is a bill tabled in Parliament that fully defines the rights of the disabled and seeks to eliminate discrimination against them. Within 2 years, all businesses must be made disabled friendly. Chamber President Barry Malcolm believes it is a realistic target.
There will be some challenges to some companies, and there is obviously a cost to meet the requirements of the new bill. But I think there's a need for businesses and for the community and society generally to accommodate the access of the disabled to various public facilities and to their individual enterprises and businesses. So I think it's something that needs to be done, and I think businesses will step up and make the investments needed to accommodate access of the disabled to their businesses.
But he says one challenge may be cost.
I think some businesses, just as a matter of cost, may have a challenge in meeting the deadlines. But I think most of the businesses will make every effort they can, every reasonable effort to be within the requirements of the changed regulations and laws.
But not just private businesses will have to comply, but public buildings as well.
Ultimately, the people, the general public, by extension, the taxpayers will have to pay. But as I said, I think it's a reasonable step to be taken to give access of all citizens to public facilities. And I think as a matter of course, public institutions, public facilities have to or should be structured and laid out in a way that gives the public access, all members of the public, including those who are disabled.
According to the bill, a business house with 100 employees or more would be required to hire a minimum number of disabled people. Additionally, employers cannot discriminate against disabled persons when it comes to recruiting, advertising for employment, allocating salaries, pensions, or other benefits. The police issuing a wanted poster for another man wanted on the charge of murder. This is the third such bulletin to be issued within the past week. This suspect is 37-year-old Kareem Abdul Moss. Police say he is wanted for questioning in connection with the June 26 murder of Jareth Barry in the Coral Gardens area. Police say he is wanted for questioning with Jareth Barry's murder, and he's a known security officer. He's known to reside at 2 locations, Blue Hill and Cowpen Road in New Providence and Spinney Road here in Freeport. Moss is said to have light brown complexion, between 160 to 180 pounds, and about 5 feet 8 inches tall. Police say he is considered armed and extremely dangerous. If you can help police locate Kareem Abdul Moss, you should call 350-3107 or 832-88411 or 502-9998-911 or 919. Meantime, the search is continuing for 27-year-old Fabian Livingston Roll, a.k.a. PJ, and 21-year-old DeAndre Carvel Hamilton. They are both wanted by police for questioning in connection with the murder of Sean Andrew Smith in late March. Now, if you know the whereabouts of these men, you are urged to call the nearest police station. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Educators Industry Internship facilitated by the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Education, and the Bahamas Hotel Association coming to a close on Grand Bahama. The District Superintendent for Education now challenging participants to spread the word about Grand Bahama's tourism industry. Megan Shepard has this story.
Those in the education system here on Grand Bahama participating in a unique internship program revolving around the tourism industry. Public and private school teachers got hands-on experience in various tourism companies. District Superintendent for West End and Bimini, Mary Cooper, says everyone walked away excited and ready to pass on valuable knowledge to their students.
We are in the ideal position to influence our students to be enthusiastic, to appreciate what the Bahamas, and in particular, Grand Bahama, has to offer to the world.
Cooper says the challenge now is to spread the good news about Grand Bahama's tourism product and its hidden treasures. Now, not only did the teachers participate, but Cooper also got an experience of her own. She was placed at the Grand Lucayan Resort and says it was an awesome experience.
On the first day, we went into housekeeping, and that was my desire. As I said to the students, I prayed that I would go into housekeeping because both my mom and my dad worked in the tourism industry here in Freeport. We learned so much because in housekeeping now, they are no longer maids. They are room attendants, all right? And you have your supervisor, you have your manager, you have your administrator of housekeeping, and then you have the director of housekeeping. And so we learned a whole lot.
Cooper says participants were challenged to set goals for themselves before embarking on their week-long internship. Her goal, she says, is to create passionate teachers who will then create passionate students.
I would want to encourage our teachers to now participate in the industry shadowing next year, as many as possible, and then to give our students the experience, so that we can all go away with this appreciation for the tourism product in Grand Bahama, and then to sell Grand Bahama. As Ms. Johnson said to us at the beginning of the session, that, you know, we are in a position to bring about the change that is needed to rebuild the economy. And so that's what we want to do as a result of this exercise, to go back into the schools to try and change the mindset of our students towards tourism.
40 educators participated in the tourism-based internship program. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, time is drawing near for the ZNS News Northern Edition's West End move. Next week, our news team will be bringing you the news live from the capital of Grand Bahama. As the Northern Service relaunches its Family Island News project, we are inviting you to not just tune in, but also enter to win a number of interesting prizes. Our ZNS News team is excited about bringing you the news live from West End this coming Monday. Director of the Northern Service, Darren Meadows, says this time around, talk radio is included as well. But that's not all. Our news team, along with the Ministry of Tourism and the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, invite you to take part in a list of scheduled events and enter to win a stay at Old Bahama Bay.
For that week, we'll start every day off with a live radio show from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then we'll have a live TV show from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. daily. And then we'll end with our newscast from 6:30 to 7 p.m. nightly. This week we'll also have a number of other activities for residents of Grand Bahama and tourists alike to come down and enjoy the settlement of West End and what makes West End unique.
Those activities are detailed by the Ministry of Tourism's Coordinator of Product Development, Elaine Smith.
On Tuesday night, there will be a game night at Triple Play restaurant featuring classic like dominoes and backgammon. Entertainment will include rake and scrape. And to complete the night, there will be fish and panny cake on the menu for all to enjoy. Then you have on Wednesday night, there will be an old-timers basketball tournament at West End Primary School where ZNS team will take on the legendary West End Conks in a friendly competition. Then you have Thursday night, all roads will lead to Coffee on the Bay for a native fish fry where everyone can enjoy the food, the music, and the dancing on the waterfront. And to climax the week of the event, on Friday night, there will be a Junkanoo Rush Out by West End's very own, as well as a people-to-people experience for residents and visitors to engage in a cultural exchange, all at Old Bahama Bay.
During our live newscast, there will be trivia questions and some awesome prizes. Director of Marketing Service of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, Carmel Churchill, explains.
They can visit our Facebook page, which is Visit Grand Bahama, or Twitter, See Grand Bahama, or Instagram and Google. Once they visit those pages, they will have an opportunity to win a prize to stay at one of our properties, which is Paradise Cove, Old Bahama Bay, and Blue Marlin Cove. Contestants should be resident Bahamians or Bahamians in order to win the prizes. So if you are a resident living in Grand Bahama, you do have the opportunity to enter to win this particular opportunity.
And of course, our Ricardo Lightborn is one of the star basketball players. Come next week, it's something you have to see, so come out West End. I think that's Thursday or Friday. More details to come. Stay with us. He's up next with sports.
Hey everybody, it's time for sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Let's get right to it. The Caribbean Little League Baseball qualifying tournament into the playoffs at the American-Caribbean Baseball Park. Up first, semifinal action, Curacao and U.S. Virgin Islands. Let's cross the line. The number 1 seed in Pool A, and that is the U.S. Virgin Islands, took on the 2 seed in B, Curacao, and what a game in the semifinal. It was an early one as U.S. Virgin Islands jumped out to a 3-1 lead in the ball game, to only see that evened up as Curacao came rolling back, tied at 3-3. While it went down to the wire, Curacao now leading the ball game, went up in the game 6-4, but the U.S. Virgin Islands not giving up any ground at all, came back, and the shocker won at 7-6. They are moving on to the finals. Lester Sack played a very good game. He got the win. Boykin Newman was tagged with the loss. U.S. Virgin Islands is into the finals, and how does the manager feel?
The goal was to get in the finals. What happens when we get there might be a different story. But my guys played hard today. We really wanted to prove something, and I think we did.
What does this tournament mean to your kids to be playing at this level?
Well, for years we've been in this tournament and have yet to win this tournament, so it's a big thing for us and for our entire island.
Team Bahamas area is hoping to join the Virgin Islands in that final game that is set for Friday afternoon. The coach and manager of the team, Greg Burrows Jr., says his kids are focused, they understand the game plan, and he's pretty happy so far undefeated.
We've been doing a good job so far, 3-0, and the pitchers have been doing well, and we've had offense all tournament, so I expect the same thing.
You've seen a lot of teams, you've seen some offense from them. Looking at your pitching, has that been the key to what you've been able to achieve so far?
Yeah, we've been able to hold teams to very minimum amount of runs and give our offense a chance to come around and get comfortable, and once the offense comes around, it's not much they could really do from that point.
I like the bats also. You got some pretty good bats. These kids understand the game plan. Are they falling in line as far as what you want?
Absolutely. We have a game plan. We've been executing it so far, and we're going to continue to try to execute it, and once we do that, we should be okay.
Team Bahamas is the 1 seed in the B division, and standing in the way, Puerto Rico. They understand the job, and that is to get to that finals and a chance to go to Williamsport. Well, Team Bahamas today, folks, taking on Puerto Rico. Let's go to some of that footage. Greg Burrows' Jr. game plan was to hold Puerto Rico, limit their runs, and actually take the odds when they were there. but today his pitches did not rise to the occasion, and as a result, Team Bahamas will not get that chance to play for that run to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They lost to Puerto Rico 6-4. That means that the Bahamas area will now play Curacao for the bronze medal, and also here's the schedule, 1 o'clock tomorrow for that game. As far as U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, they'll play at 4 o'clock for the goal, the right to represent the Caribbean at the Little League World Series. Now, the award ceremony is at 7 o'clock tomorrow at the American-Caribbean Baseball Stadium. We want to say a super effort from Team Bahamas host and also Team Bahamas area, and giving us a pretty good showing down there at the ballpark. Tough break for our kids. That's a quick look at sports.